Good afternoon. It's the Too Much Dip podcast. My name is Dave. And I have Olympic fever. I'm going to host today. I'm going to work the board, and I'm going to introduce now Dylan Shivery, who has just recently cracked an Arctic Celsius, Jim.
Arctic 5 Celsius, which I brought from home. That's why I didn't offer to pick any up for anyone on my way in, because that did not happen.
I had a 5 hour.
You got 5 hours of energy.
Somebody on the golf trip, Blaine, actually gave me a 5 hour, and I didn't drink it, and it was in my car, so I just drank it. I haven't had a 5 hour in like a decade.
How long ago did you take it?
Less than an hour ago. So
you're good to go unless we go real long.
Can you imagine? Unless this thing goes real long.
Hey guys, we are 26 days away from, I guess less than that for like college football, but for like the real slate. Week 1, 26 days away. Week 0, I don't know who's playing, but that starts sooner, obviously. I can't wait, man. It couldn't get here soon enough.
It cannot come soon enough.
Oh my goodness. We get home playoff games this year, KJ. Home playoff games in college football. Unheard of.
8 of them bad boys.
You believe it?
I'm eager. I can believe it. And I too am looking forward to 19 days from now watching Florida State and Georgia Tech take the field.
Yes.
In the morning. And then SMU Ponies in Nevada.
You know what?
Pretty cool.
Florida State, Georgia Tech, that's a really strong week 0 game, actually.
Yeah.
They're playing over yonder in Dublin, so that'll be a spectacle.
We got to stop.
Do I have to get up at 4 a.m. to watch it, or can I?
11.
You have to watch the game with the Pint Man Patty.
I gotta keep up pint for pint.
Yeah, you got to see how long you can drink before you die. Randy Trembacki's here.
Hi, Dave. Did you get Olympic fever from that river in France?
That's a good tie-in. We will talk about the river of doo-doo.
He's guaranteed to say it's Rhea time at some point in this episode.
Don't push. Don't force it. Don't force it. That's the worst thing you can do. We got ourselves a big show. But before we get into it, got to remind everybody, go leave us a review. Tell a friend to leave a review. Show them the pod. Say, hey, there's a sports pod. It's pretty underrated. There's a lot of sports pods out there that you could listen to. This one's unlike any of them. You know why?
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like the combination of guys we have is different, right? One of the guys is remote. You got fucking Randy here.
Okay.
The 3 guys that host this podcast, you will not find anywhere else. This exact combination of co-hosts. That is very true. It's a good point.
False reports of deaths. Accurate reports of team importance and significance.
Yep.
There's all sorts of things to love.
This thing has something for everybody. So go subscribe. Also go to youtube.com/toomuchdip. Check us out there on YouTube. It's a visual show, much like the other properties in the Wash Media Empire. It's a visual show, I believe. Roback. Our good friends at Roback. Dylan is wearing a strong to quite strong powder blue, sky blue Roback right now.
I am.
But it's not just polos and shirts, it's hats.
They have
quarter
hats.
zips.
Oh my gosh, they have pretty much whatever you want. Also, cool weather is you couldn't tell by going outside today, but it's coming soon. You're gonna need your crew necks. You're gonna need your hoodies. In the meantime, buy some swim trunks, buy a polo. They have everything for anybody. We love them. Washed 20. Promo code WASHED20 will get you 20% off at checkout. One-time use code, so load the cart.
Load that cart up. Just the biggest load up you can think of. Just drop it in there and then use it. 20% off. That's going to save you a lot of money. Randy, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, any fun happenings on the weekend? If like KJ, I don't, he lives somewhere else, so we don't really get to talk to him that much.
Yeah, I'll offer up the did a lot of grind boy shit around the house. However, Sunday we went to a small town north of here called Portage and visited what by a lot of measurements would likely just be a spare public beach situation on the banks of the Wisconsin River. Imagine Deep Eddy Lake and like the absolute vibe that place can be on a beautiful day. Some might say it's worth going there every single day until you find the right, the woman you'll marry. This is the absolute antithesis of that. Like,
Okay.
notch that down to like Lions Club float in San Marcos. I'm going like real Central Texas niche here.
Jeez.
But notch that all the way down to that and then take a couple steps back, dump some sand in front of the water. And the kids you would have thought the kids were at fucking Sandals Resort or something. I don't know.
It's a bunch
Whatever, like a
Little
nice
St.
resort would be.
James.
Just a bunch of
The
pasty,
kids loved it.
bunch of pasty soft bodies just posted up everywhere.
Oh my God.
It was not good visuals,
Oh,
but
no.
my kids absolutely loved every bit of it. Like, if you don't look at the water and the lack of clarity, and you don't look at the people and the absolute transparency of skin tone, you can absolutely have a beautiful, beautiful day with the fam. And that's what we did on Sunday.
God, just a bunch of Randys out there. I'm just kidding.
I'm tanner than you.
He's tanner than
Randy
me,
would have
folks.
been the hottest and like most genuinely attractive by about
Randy,
3 notches.
the
Move
vibe
up
guard.
there.
Thank you.
Move up there,
They
dude.
they
I
just
know.
opened up a position on
Cream
the
of the
website.
crop.
They're looking for a vibe
Yeah, I was
guard.
gonna say they need a vibe guard up here. Sounds like you had a blast though, KJ.
I did have a good time. I think it's one of those things where like going with the mindset of I'm here for the kids, 100% of that was worth it.
Oh,
It's free. Everything about that was great.
well, drink
You
it
know,
up.
It's safe enough to where you didn't have to worry about it. If I was there for me, I probably would have pulled into the parking lot and turned around and said, "Fuck it, we'll go to the pool."
Damn, I wish there was some photo evidence. I gotta look this up.
I'll pull some real spare photo. I'll pull some photos because I think I got some with enough contextual evidence.
Well, I remember driving to the meetup in Chicago, and I knew that there's like a beach situation, but driving by that and being like, I kind of wish we had done this.
North Half Beach.
that was a scene.
That looked dope. I would be the
Like,
least
Michigan's
cool
a
person
whole
there.
different thing,
Okay. Okay.
and there are better local beaches to go to. I should say I picked the wrong one, but I am very curious to hear about your weekend. So can we do Dylan's first? I'm sure y'all talked about it this morning, but
Well, yeah. I mean, Dylan, he was chaperoning a little bit.
Yeah, I had a 9-year-old sleepover at my place, and honestly, we had a lot of fun. But it's not exciting to talk about on an audio format such as this one. But it was a good time. Fortnite.
can I at least
Monopoly.
know
His
like
son.
the stats, like head count, like how many lives
just-
you were in charge of?
Just Parks. He just had one buddy over. Yeah, his best bud. They had a good time.
So it wasn't like you're unleashing 3 hot and ready pizzas on like a room full of 10-year-olds who all
Oh,
have their
man.
own
No,
monitors.
I picked up P. Terry's for them, and they had a good time.
Respect.
Picked up a 6 or a Jolt.
Yeah, Jolt Cola.
Kids are just staying up, and the
They
ones who
were-
fall asleep are pissing the bed.
They were wired until about 4 a.m.
Damn.
Just pissing everywhere. It was crazy.
Those are the days, man. Yeah, KJ, you might have noticed I was on a little golf excursion out at Hill Country Way. Just playing a little.
As a matter of fact, I did. I saw images, and for some reason I thought you might have been like at the Olympics, possibly like the Texas Ryder Cup. But tell me more.
Well, look, you hit a certain age when like you have really no juice anymore, and like the only thing you can get up for is like a Ryder Cup style event with the boys. And you dress the part, you take the photos, you create a trophy. One of the guys makes a media guide, and I'm not kidding when I say there's a full media guide. Oh yeah, there's the pic. Shout out to Garrett. Yeah, that's us. I'm on the white team. I'm on the team with all white guys. The other team actually all white guys too. Yeah, look, it was a lot of fun. It was a blast, and yeah, that's it. Now we're going through the
Got some
photos.
questions.
Go ahead.
KJ
Thank you,
wanted to
Randy.
talk about
Thank
the
you, Randy, for
photos.
having these available for the audience here. Again, that's on youtube.com/toomuchdip. I love the concept, everything about it. I think we as a group have talked in the past about the absolute respect we have for the Will Mommies and the extent that they would go for some of the bits surrounding like that girls trip. Shout out to Grace for bringing the Wilmon sign to the Chicago meetup. So anytime you have somebody who goes that extra step, the trophy, love it. Like somebody sitting down and saying, here's the rules. Love it. Who decided we're going to have uniforms? Not just everybody order a shirt, but also your shorts need to be this color. Was there an inseam definition? And like what other additional rules came with this uniform selection? Because that was a step that I hadn't seen taken.
Well, I'm glad you asked. Randy, I just sent you some more photos that are going to blow KJ's mind. That's the team captain. So it's Ryder Cup style. So they treat it like a Ryder Cup, meaning like your team, you're picking like position, what teams are going out together. It's fun as fuck. Like no one has ever played at that level of golf. So it's like, okay, it's fun to get in there, drink, talk shit, draft a team, figure out who you're going to pair who with, who's going out against who. So it's basically like, an unathletic, untalented Ryder Cup. And the level of detail that goes into it. So the shirt, like you get there and there's like a gift bag with your name on it. And you have a team shirt that they give you. It's all included. I'm actually Randy, I sent you some stuff on Slack. The media guide, KJ.
I'm looking at that now.
There is a West Texas Invitational media guide, as you see here. Yeah, I got my own profile pic. I got a little write up on myself there, and it's like 30 pages long, dude. It's a lot goes into this. There's one guy who does all this work.
Well, that one guy, and I would say for you, if his name is not Greg Tepper, as one of the world's leading fans of the Greg Tepper fan club, who is the editor of the Dave Campbell's Texas High School Football magazine, an annual Bible there in Texas for high school football and all other football of college nature. They do some pros, I think, but mostly college and high school. That's Dave Campbell's quality. That somebody's just doing for shits and gigs, and I truly, genuinely love it.
Go to that one you just had on. That guy's our accountant. That guy does our taxes. That's blank.
You have a board. Like you're very short of like somebody changing the values and ethos of this group and having a militia in place. Like you've got the infrastructure. You're very easily pivotable into like having a small organization that could be used for the wrong purposes here.
Well, I'm the only person on this trip who didn't go to ACU.
Get these guys.
You're actually get
these guys some tiki torches and they'll be ready to go.
That's fair. That's fair.
ACU grad artist for this artwork. By the way.
There we go.
So, shouts.
Yeah. So a lot of fun, and KJ, I appreciate your interest in this, and this was a good way into it.
In no way is any of that in jest or to like take shots.
Oh no, dude! I think everybody acknowledges like this is like the highlight week of the year for a lot of these guys, and like I get it, but it is funny when you're like at the course and you're in with your team and matching coordinating stuff, and it's just so over the top. God, I love it.
I as somebody who's seen like what it takes to get 16 guys at our age, mid to late 30s age bracket, some in the 40s, together for a trip. You've seen that I am a part of a group that does something similar, and you've seen that the results are not nearly as well executed. In fact, like my research has only just continuously led me, I'll be in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho in a couple of weeks, to just being like, damn, there's going to be a lot of Aryan Nation supporters in Coeur d'Alene. Like how much of observing their weekly parades can I get this group to go to? Like that's where my research is right now. So I don't think I'll be getting buttons or shirts ready. If so, they'll all be like Utah women's basketball. But I'll try to get some photos, and I hope to be back after the fact.
Yes. I'm sad I'm missing that trip. Not for the reasons you described, but just because it's a fun group. Cool. All right.
Anyhow.
Olympics. I didn't make the connection that Noah Lyles was the quote guy that we talked about months ago, maybe even a year ago, regarding the NBA and the World Championship controversy. He had the quote about, they call themselves world champions, but they're not the world champions. The champions of the teams here.
Oh, yes.
That was him. So NBA Twitter has been at war with Noah Lyles for a while now. So much so that they were like actively rooting against him, and everybody was, based on his performance in the Heat, in the semifinal. Like they were like, oh, this is going to be good. We're going to all become, the biggest haters possible on Noah Lyles. And then he did it by a nose, quite literally. That was the highlight of my Olympics thus far.
Yeah, the quote is it's not untrue what he said. And it is funny that every sports league in the United States calls themselves world champions. Football probably the only ones that actually have like a claim to that, considering it's not. I guess it is played in Canada, so never mind. But anyway, it's funny. It's funny to get people riled up over something stupid like that. But then to back it up, man, that was quite the performance. I thought he lost watching it live. Whoever called the race also thought that until they did the photo finish. Quite a thrilling race.
I bricked it by not seeing this live. Again, I was at the world's most mid local beach, but Lee Diffie is the one with the NBC call who missed that call live and owned it.
They should have got
but I
Joe
did
in
rewatch
there.
it.
Joe Diffie.
Come again?
Joe Diffie?
Thank you. I'm aware.
All right, I'm
aware.
sorry.
I just wanted to make sure the people out there knew that you were
That's right.
looking for a queen of your double wide trailer. Is that right?
No, I don't know. I don't even know. I just know the name.
Who knows? No, that's not right. That's not right at all. Anyhow, I'm not going to offer you correct answers. I'm just not seeing it pop up in the top 10 songs list.
I ruined the segment. I'm sorry.
Google. Anyways, Noah Lyles. He's the one who had like the super meta, like deep thought at the early part of the Olympics where I was like, okay, that's not the Noah Lyles I have in mind. Like the shit talkers who I'm aware of. And he lives that. And I guess it was the World Championships where the guy who finished last in the 100 meters, like basically stared him down as they were crossing the finish line and beating Noah Lyles. And I could have the race wrong, whatever.
Yeah, I think it was
so
the
for him to
Worlds.
for him not only to do that, to win like as a good a photo finish as you could ask for, but then do it in a race where the Carl Lewis Olympics, like 85 Olympics, maybe it's 86 Olympics.
84 was
Carl
LA.
Lewis, 84. Yeah, 84. Carl Lewis winning the 84 Olympics, that winning time would have been slower than dead last in these finals.
Speaking of dead last, the Jamaican who stared him down that you just mentioned, he finished dead last night.
Yes. Like, that's incredible.
Tough scene.
It's weird, like, thinking back to the Usain Bolt 100-meter dashes, maybe it's all the pageantry and, like, you build up to this race so much, and we call this the world's fastest man and all of that. But watching the 400s yesterday, or the 4x4, and then the 200s today a little bit, and some of the 400-meter and 800-meter races, I kind of enjoyed those longer races a little bit more. Like, you have some time for drama to build up, but this was still the best 11 seconds that I've had, since my wife got back in town.
Okay.
Wow.
For shot.
I think we knew. I think we all had a pretty good.
I saw that joke coming a mile
I
away.
think we all do. we saw it coming 100 meters away. God, this guy. 11 seconds. You know what? To your point, I get it. I do prefer the 200. I like that extra 100 to really suss it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not going to see the nose. You're not as likely, I feel like, to see the nose finish.
The 100, the start is so crucial.
His start was ass too.
He's not a good starter, but I mean, if there's even like the slightest bit of hesitation in getting going, because you saw the photo finish. It's that close.
Hesitation, not winning.
How many faults do you get at the line? I think you just allowed one.
Ooh.
Man, my wife allows a lot of them. Let me tell you, dude. She lets me hear about them too, man.
I'd be so scared of false starting.
If you double false start, you're disqualified.
Okay,
the only one.
yeah, that's fresh.
That's embarrassing.
Imagine doing it once. Like how jumpy you'd just be. So I'd be the last off the line for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
One thing I have not gotten to the bottom of, I don't know if either of y'all have heard the full story or seen the full story. I'm genuinely curious, is what happened in the women's 100. Sha'Carri Richardson, shout out to Dallas, ended up getting second, which wasn't the thing that kind of kept my attention. That there were reports of the Jamaican sprinter who won last Olympics, name is escaping me, hyphenated last name, was not like allowed into the facility. Sha'Carri Richardson was also like not being allowed in a certain facility entrance. I guess they changed the protocols like that day. They didn't know about it. Sha'Carri made it onto the track. The other one did not. And I don't know what happened.
I'm unfamiliar. The woman who did win, Julian Alfred from St. Lucia, is a Texas Longhorn, by the way.
I did see that.
Fastest
as well.
woman alive.
Would you prefer that all Texas athletes who are in the Olympics have a Longhorn tattoo, or that every Olympian that qualifies has an Olympic tattoo? Like, which is just a notch above like having a KA ankle tattoo?
I don't know, but all the male swimmers who are went to UT or go to UT, and there are a ton of them, they all have the Longhorn on the rib there, like every single one of them. I think UT, not to make this about UT, that's not what it's about. I think they have 12 medals total, which is kind of sick.
Well, you saw what happened. That one, I can't remember what's that fucking dude's name. That Longhorn finished silver, but ended up getting gold because the guy who won gold did horns down.
Oh, really? I must
So
have
they stripped
missed
him
that.
of his gold medal.
Wow, I must have missed
This
that.
IOC was like, "We're not.
That's
no.
against the rules.
Like, we're not doing that here,
That's
guys."
15 yards, man.
That's yeah. No, I didn't notice that.
Did we talk about how the SEC has officially come out and said that, yeah, that's not going to be a penalty in the SEC? I don't think we talked about that yet, but
I don't know. I'm glad.
I am too.
I did hear the full like press conference by the referee, and I thought it was an appropriate answer to a dumb question. But to quickly summarize, I think that basically the way that the head of officiating the SEC said, we've talked about this for a while. Basically, it has to be offensive to the senses. Like if I did this in a grocery store, would I get some like odd looks? And is this demeaning to the opponent? Like, are you directly taunting an opponent when doing it? And so it's like doing the horns down to your friends, to your teammates, to your sideline or whatever, probably not a flag. Standing over a UT player and doing the horns down, like if it's what you're doing while taunting somebody, you're going to get a flag.
That falls under the general taunting rule, though. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
That's a
if somebody
different
tries to be like,
situation.
oh, they threw it for the flag,
Yeah.
like, no, they're going to be throwing it for the taunting part.
I served under him. General taunting.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
We were the showiest, man.
Wow.
We were just like, let's go. What the fuck you gonna do? We were fucking just. Chris, what do you know about Kristen Faulkner?
Not enough.
I don't know the name.
How about this? 7 years after taking a beginner cycling class in New York City, Kristen Faulkner has now won the gold at the Olympics in Paris. The
Did see
first
this.
American to win gold in the women's road race in 40 years. Some fun facts. Grew up in Alaska. Rode at Harvard. Moved to New York City after school. Started working at a venture capital firm. Took a beginner cycling class in Central Park. Started cycling at 5 a.m. before work. Started competing in local cycling tournaments. Quit her job and moved to Cali to cycle full-time. Added to the USA road cycling roster 1 month before the Olympic Games. That's all courtesy of Joe Pompliano.
That's a natural talent, Dave.
That's pretty insane.
That is very insane.
That's like the stuff that you kind of think about. Like, I wonder what sport I could like could have taken up at 30 and like maybe qualified in.
What if there's something you're just so unbelievably like naturally good at, but you haven't even tried it before?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
You
Like,
thought about shit like that?
yeah, like stroking it
Like,
or
what if
something.
I'm really good at something? What if I'm a really good? What if I was born to be like a figure skater and I just never tried it, so I don't know? What if I'm out there doing like triple axels and shit after like 2 months of doing it and I just never tried it? So
Golden
I never would
tee.
have figured it out.
That's your golden tee.
You ever thought about that shit?
I have an idea of
Like
one of mine.
untapped talent that you never know you have?
I have a talent. This is going to be really embarrassing, but I have a talent but I was not born into the right social circumstances to have had the right mentality to pursue it.
What is it?
I think I have extremely, extremely twitchy upper body hands. I have very fast hands.
Upper body hands?
Like I have a fast.
Oh.
I have very quick hands and I have very quick reaction speed, hand-eye. However,
You could have been a
I would-
boxer.
not with the way I grew up. I had a very like normal upbringing and like I didn't have the dog mentality. So I would have never like actually, but had like under circumstances if like I had to like fight, like let's say I was born in Philadelphia and I was like trying to escape my life as like a mafia enforcer. Then only then would I have realized that, yeah, I could take this thing to another level and make money and get out of Philly.
Yeah. If you didn't grow up in the suburbs of Dallas and like you were some type of street youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You have unsolicitedly shadowboxed me before. You come up and you just start throwing hands at me. I'm like, oh, okay, calm down. He does it to me in the office all the time.
Yeah, quite a bit.
He's pretty quick.
Yeah, dude.
And this is 40-year-old Dave. I mean, imagine if he was, he started at 17 and he was in the gym just hitting the bag all day. You could have been
I
something.
could have been a contender.
Could have been something, Dave.
That or if there was if one of the Olympic sports was Randy plays a snippet of a song and I have to identify it very quickly. That is the only other thing that I am very good at. It's true. The music segment is my bag.
This is bag.
That's where I make my money. That's where I win it or lose it every time.
I've got to get the Texas Rangers home run, the natural music added to the board as the Philadelphia plotline unfolded there. I love the story. I'm become a sucker for like not the sad triumphant stories of our Olympians. Like we've heard, I don't know why her name's completely escaping me. What is gymnast's name? Oh my God.
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles. Thank
Simone
you.
Biles.
Bro,
You've
she's
heard
the
her
GOAT.
story.
Only the
Obviously,
GOAT.
it's-
No big deal.
Right. Well, for some reason, every other member of the team, Jade Carey, Jordan Childs, Suni Lee, like all of them were coming to mind for some reason. I couldn't
hey,
Simone.
buddy.
But like Suni Lee's, for example, she had a kidney problem last year, blah, blah, blah. Like I've heard all those. Those are cool. But I kind of find these like now normal people turn Olympians like really, really awesome. Like, so this cyclist story was tight. There's a fencer. I'm going to go with fencist, a U.S. fencist who stepped away from med school, Lee Kiefer, in order to become a U.S. Olympian. I think that's real sick. And then give me the I'm only here for one job guy, the pommel horse dude. Like
That dude.
all
rules.
those things are
It's
pretty
awesome.
Wasn't there a
Um,
pregnant fencer too? Or there's a 7-month pregnant woman competing in something. I'm serious.
She can't take a poke to the belly.
No, it's not a fencer. It's a. Is it shooting? What is it? There's a pregnant woman competing.
I'll look it up. I'll find it for you. Dave.
What's so funny about that?
tight.
Oh, let me guess. KJ knows he doesn't think she should be competing.
Yeah, she's a fencer.
Oh, okay. Not long jump.
Competing. Oh, the headline says competing for 2. How cute is that?
Oh,
Egypt's not a Hafez. I don't know how to say it.
that was probably it.
Okay.
Competes with United States Elizabeth Tara whatever. Wait, which one's pregnant?
It's one of them.
It's the young lady from Egypt. Okay,
Okay.
got it.
I'd like to
All right.
emphasize this is like a lack of grammatical clarity on behalf of the writer. Not
Bad
that
editing.
Dylan was looking at a photo and trying to evaluate. For those not like observing and thinking that we've got these notes like written out.
Yeah,
with
it's
pictures or
the
something.
young
No.
lady from Egypt who is pregnant. Good for her.
All right. This is a good segue. KJ, you've been wanting to talk about women's boxing.
I was just going to echo some of the sentiments that y'all shared in the group chat the other day. I haven't had a chance to fully redact and edit those words.
Oh,
But
we didn't talk about it.
I do agree it was women's boxing that we were going to talk about. No, Femke Bol, 400 meter sprinter for the Netherlands. I do want to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
I don't have the audio because shout out to Peacock and the Olympics for scrubbing like any unauthorized clips out there pretty well.
Why?
Don't know, man. I don't know. Because the audio of Femke Bowles' voice is just, it's pure. But I do encourage any and everyone to track down the video. They've got it up on YouTube of the 400 mixed relay. I'm a big fan of mixed relays, the mixed relays in swimming and sprinting, archery, volleyball. Anytime you have mixed families or like Olympic competitions, all in.
It's just a very different thing.
Just subliminal messaging there. But no, I look at the U.S. track and field team as like an abundance of riches. You've got incredible talents, not always the best, but an incredible depth of talent. And I think it's pretty typical of the U.S. of where we have like specialists in certain races. In so much depth from these teams to where they end up putting individuals that may not have qualified for their 400 meter team, taking them for the mix relay. And that's what we did. They absolutely dusted it by like 40 meters and set an Olympic record. Everybody in their heat in the semifinals, the U.S. team did. Flip over to the finals, and it was much closer, as you expected. But Femke Bol is running fourth leg for the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say unassuming, but she's like very similar to she's not there this year. A Thing Mu. Are you familiar with who that is for the U.S.?
I'm not.
Very dark complexion, 800 meter sprinter. She's gotten a freaking Visa commercial this year, but she fell down during trials and didn't make it to the Olympic team. Real, give me the movie, bobsled movie.
Cool
Runnings-esque situation. But anyways, Femke Bol, tall, slender, very pale, from the Netherlands. And at no point in time does it look like this person's running fast. And you see her track down somebody's like 6 inches shorter, so their legs are moving very, very quickly in the most like methodical way possible. And it was insane to see over like a 150 meter situation where you're like, that person doesn't have any juice left. And this one is just full blown like T2000. So not to super glaze, but it is an event worth going back and seeing. And that's the 4x4 mixed relay.
Okay.
We touched on boxing for a sec. Can we talk about, I think you pronounce her name, Amani Khalif, the one who was getting just dragged across social media because people thought she was a natural born male?
Yeah, I honestly don't. I have not followed a lot of it. I did see when that happened, I saw the backlash immediately. It was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I was shocked to learn that like a lot of people had the facts wrong.
Yeah, she's just a straight up woman, turns out. Natural born female who just has naturally high testosterone. We all have a little bit of both in us. Like men have estrogen and women have testosterone. She's a full blown female. And a lot of people owe this young lady an apology. It was terrible the way she was getting dragged by very like influential people as well. Really sad situation. And she was very emotional.
Culture war red meat there.
I believe she won bronze.
Is it done? I knew there's two athletes, who are at being focused on, one from Taiwan, one from the one you just mentioned. I knew they were both competing for medals.
I'm not familiar with the one from Taiwan, but yeah,
okay.
this
that I'm not either.
Khalif, she won bronze, and she was very emotional after her fight, her most recent fight, I believe. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm a female. I've been working for this my entire life," and it was a really, really terrible situation. It got ugly.
Huh. Yeah, she did.
I was going to share my thoughts. David, did you say the West Texas Invitational had an official statement on this story? Like, you weren't sharing any notes from them?
No.
Okay.
That did not come up.
I just feel like that's the worst possible place to be, is like when you know you don't have consistent access to information, when you know that you're in a very safe environment surrounded by only dudes, able to share what's ever on your mind, a little bit off the grid, if you will, like that's a bad place to be when you have like one of these situations where it stops early.
No,
I know that doesn't apply there.
it's somehow, yeah, no, it did not come up. But I'll tell you what did come up. Well, golf.
Mm-hmm.
How about that Sunday? How about the note that you're Tommy Fleetwood, silver medal, nothing to be upset about, but you're Tommy lad. You've been close majors, never done. You got a chance to win gold. You're in the final group. You watch John Rahm just meltdown, just completely just poo down his leg. And then you shoot 66. And then the guy who's had the most insane year in golf ever, just like for a number of reasons, he just goes out and does 62. And he takes it. That's tough.
It is tough. Here's a quote from Fleetwood after talking about the podium. Standing on that podium with the medal in front of the crowd was one of the most amazing moments I've had as a golfer. So I'll remember those times the rest of my life. The dude had a good time. I mean, yeah, it's tough the way he lost, but he had a pretty good outlook on it. And it's gotta be interesting, like playing for yourself your entire career, and then you get a chance to like represent your country. So it meant a lot to him. I mean, obviously they have Ryder Cup and all that too, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, pretty cool, man.
Can we please get a Olympic golf like team aspect to it? Just different than a four round like that we see every fucking weekend.
Yeah, it's just stroke play, man. Don't make the joke like you made on circling back. It's just stroke play.
That was Will. May have been me.
Yeah, a final round 62 from Scheffler, a back nine 29.
That's insane.
That's wild. They were just tearing that course apart. It was very simple course for these guys.
Did you see him during the national anthem? That was killer.
Got choked up.
Yeah,
got real tears going. That was a pretty cool moment.
Who got third? I'm sorry.
Hideki.
Okay.
Japan,
I
Randy.
saw him on there. But I don't know if anybody else snuck in there.
Randy went to the bank earlier. Why don't you tell the folks?
I got some yen today on a historically high day for yen. Very fun.
Why didn't you wait?
I don't know.
It's the opposite. Like you've got like 15 days or something.
No, I got like 11. And 2 of those days, one of those days the bank is closed and it takes like 2 or 3 days to come in. So I was like, I just need to get it done now or I'm going to forget.
Were any of you guys following the Tom Kim situation at the Olympics?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Tom Kim could have secured an exemption from South Korea's mandatory military service had he finished on the podium at the Olympics. He did not, unfortunately, and was seen crying in the clubhouse after the round.
I always forget that that's a thing.
Crying in the club
house.
You're like, you want to be like mad at South Korea. You're like, oh man, it's not cool. But then you're like, oh yeah, they've got the people like right above them. They've got like this bad relationship with.
Yeah, the northern neighbors aren't the kindest.
So I kind of like, all right, well, that's a little bit different. So who would I be to judge them?
I forgot which event it was, but there was an event where I think South Korea and North Korea both podiumed in something. It was a team event, and they were seen taking selfies together. Did you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Pretty interesting moment there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. KJ, if you had that on the line, would you be able to finish on the podium? Could you get a medal?
I need to grow up.
No, could you get a medal?
Yes. Could I end the event in the top 3?
We've seen your 6 iron. Dylan's
were
bachelor
not
party. First hole.
I'll say this. I love my country. And so I might even, DNF just to like be first in line. How about that? No.
Oh, that's huge.
It's tough.
I mean, you could just enlist today, KJ. You don't have to not qualify.
By the way, it is at least an 18-month mandatory stint in the military.
They could probably get jacked, right? Probably get to work out and get all your meals comped.
They do have access to workout equipment, I believe. Yeah.
That honestly sounds pretty dope, especially if it's going pretty rough on the home front.
All able-bodied men between the ages of 18 and 28 are required to join. We've seen stories about this in other settings for celebrities. I believe one Gal Gadot served under Israel's mandatory service. I believe there's like half of the K-pop world that's had like take time off to go, do their part.
And that
I've got a
shit
close
wouldn't
friend
fly here.
I've got a friend who's South Korean, but he graduated my year, so I don't know how the ages work out. He's a UT alum, and he just finished his like enlistment. So I don't know if you get the opportunity to defer or to do it later or what, but I know that nobody has missed, like nobody's skipping this or getting full exemption without like some significant accomplishment, such as an Olympic golf medal.
That's all you got to do.
If you're like close with him for third place, you're like, do you tank a couple holes for your boy?
If you know you're not
What
going
if
to
you're North Korean?
Oh,
Okay, let's say just for the hypothetical, you're not North
yeah,
Korea.
it's very. If you know you're not going to,
You're like, buddy, I got
bronze
ya.
is out of reach.
I'm about to go OB here, buddy. I want you to. You need that bronze more than I do. I would do it.
I don't know. That's a big deal getting a medal.
Yeah, but think about how grateful he would be for it, like to you. He'd probably
What's
give
it
you
worth?
the medal.
That's like at the end of A League of Their Own when Gina Davis purposely drops the ball at the plate and lets her sister score the run.
A little bit like that, except there's no military service on the line.
No, but like there's glory. And
Sure.
Gina Davis was always the pretty one, the good athlete. Gina Davis, man, in her day.
Sure.
We all, I'm
Shouts to the
sure.
Rockford Peaches.
Yeah. So sure,
It's like
I'm
an hour
sure,
and a half away from me, so like
I'm sure the listeners are really like up on the League of Their Own references. A real popular movie 25 years ago. Tom Hanks,
you're like
though.
the Hulu remake.
Yeah. God. Anything else on the Olympics?
This is the final week. We get closing ceremonies this weekend
On the 11th. Yeah.
So see me dialed in to make sure U.S. can close it out in basketball. And I think my interest is like otherwise waning. Like I said, I'll watch some of the other mid-distance races for track this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be happily finished, and Stoop Dog can like slowly transition into not being on TV anymore. Oh, wait, no, he'll be on The Voice. Shouts to NBC for giving him a lifetime contract.
Might I recommend the women's 200 tomorrow? Just,
Oh, yeah.
Gabby Thomas and friends, and we got 3 qualifiers. And let me tell you,
Julian Alfred. She's back at it too.
it's going to be a good one.
Representing St. Lucia, my girl.
Mm-hmm.
Sydney McLaughlin Lavrone in the 400-meter hurdles. Watching her perform is also an absolute delight because she is
Very pretty.
beyond great. And, also that.
What was the name?
Sydney McLaughlin. I guess she
Sydney,
got married.
yes.
I got a hyphenated last name now.
She does.
Good for her.
Okay, let's see what we're. Oh, okay. Like once an episode, I'm just looking at.
Me
Morning
over here with the
Googling
Joe
over
Diffie tab up.
I know. God, there's
You
just
got
so much.
Sydney McLaughlin hot.
I
Googled.
know. There's just so many fit bods. The Olympics. You got to be in good shape. And I take working out seriously too. As does Dylan, as does KJ. We know Randy does. We're big fans of Fitbod, the essential your workout really needs. It's a fitness app that creates completely personalized workouts that adapt as you improve.
They really do. They tailor your workouts for exactly what you want out of them, like what your desired results are. Even tailors them for your workout environment. You're working out at home and you have a full gym at your disposal, it'll get you all set up.
Fitbod creates a personalized workout routine based on your goals, fitness level, and available equipment, like Dylan said. But what I like about it, let's say I want to I don't want to go to the gym for whatever reason. Let's say I pause my membership, or let's just say it's raining out. I don't want to get wet. I got 2 kettlebells in my garage. I would just tell them like, hey, that's what I've got. 2 kettlebells. Say, all right, we'll do this, this, and this. What are your goals? You want to stack mass? Oh, you're just trying to get like a good cardio in? Here, do this with your 2 kettlebells, Dave.
Or maybe you're training for for boxing in the Olympics in 2028.
Yeah, maybe so. They can write me up a little boxing workout, and you can learn new movements the right way. They've got over 1,000 demonstration videos. Maybe one day they'll ask me to do one of those demonstration videos. I can show you the proper way to do some things. Probably not. Tracks your muscle recovery, Dylan, so you can avoid burnout and keep up your momentum. And again, it's fine-tuned by experienced, certified personal trainers to bring best practices and exercise science to you. Add FitBod to your workout essentials. Join FitBod today to get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off your subscription or try the app for free at fitbod.me/bang. That's FITBOD.me. Excuse me. That's FITBOD.me/bang. Fitbod.me/bang. Oh boy. Michigan is stepped in it again.
Am I crazy, or should this be a really big deal?
I think if the Olympics weren't going, it is a big deal, but I think if the Olympics weren't going on right now, then I think it would be probably the story, right?
Like I'm sure that very little punishment, if any, will be handed out to Michigan. But there is like rock solid proof that they cheated, that they stole signs, even going as far as, hiding one of their staff members on the sideline of the Central Michigan sideline to spy on Michigan State. That's a big deal.
That's so pathetic.
This shouldn't be a small thing.
No, it shouldn't.
I'm not suggesting that they vacate all the wins from 2023, but something. They won a national championship in the same season where they were caught egregiously stealing signs.
You're right.
This is not a small thing.
If you were clutching your pearls, and probably rightly so, over the Astros cheating scandal, I know it's like a completely different sport and different fan base, but whatever. This is arguably as bad.
Now head coach Sharon Moore, I think that's how you say his name. He deleted 50 plus text messages. They discovered that.
We've all been there, deleting texts.
A hard drive went missing from the offices, the facilities.
Hillary.
This is pretty damning shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
What's going to happen here? Because they can't do nothing.
The ESPN, the people in the know are saying that they're not going to revoke the Natty.
Right, and no one should expect that to happen. This is also, you got to assume why John Harbaugh was Jim, his brother, was yeah, I'm gonna leave Michigan now.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be a suspension for Moore, which is tough. This is his first time getting a head coaching gig, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because I think we were gassing him up pretty hard. It was a really good story that he was going to get the nod and he was filling in for Harbaugh.
Okay. He doesn't have any head coaching experience so far. I mean, he was interim last year, obviously. But before that, he had no head coaching experience. Did they put him in this place knowing that this was a possible scenario?
They had to.
You might we don't know if you're a long-term coach. You're going to be there for just a little bit. And then I don't know, just be the fall guy, basically. He was in on it I don't know. This whole thing just stinks, man.
The detail that Sharon Moore deleted text messages the same day that media reports hit is wonderful. They were able to recapture the 52 texts via device imaging.
What does that mean?
They pulled the actual text?
So they were able to image the device and recover the text.
Oh, okay.
Through, device imaging.
They took it to sharper image. And they're no, we need
I don't know.
No, I don't know. But that's crazy.
Does make me wonder. I don't know how most people operate. If you're a coach and or an employee of a state entity or university in a position in which you text from your phone often for business purposes. Let me add all those stipulations so I don't self-incriminate. You probably should have a separate phone. That's pretty simple. But most device use policies will also say, if you access your email or like any work things from that device, like that's also covered under like your rules. So you could have, hey, I've got my University of Michigan cell phone, looking like Adam Schefter at all times. And then I've got my phone for the fam and the friends and, Bay on the side, whatever. If at any point you communicate with colleagues, check your email on the family one. Now you've got 2 work phones. So let's say he was trying to be safe and doing that on both devices, texting Connor on one. Like maybe he didn't think that was going to be subject to investigation. And then he quickly thought like, just to be safe. You ain't safe.
And he was texting directly with Stallions, wasn't he?
52 texts, it says. But
the guy,
again,
the current head coach of Michigan was texting directly with the guy who was on the sidelines for Central Michigan. By the way, why do you need to be on the sidelines to look at the other, the team's signs across the field? Could you just buy a ticket to the game and just like bring some binoculars or something? It's just like you're out in the open.
3 weeks away from the Untold documentary releasing. So I hope that like any of this is like resolved and decided ahead of that, and they're able to add in some extra context there if needed. But I am 1,000% looking forward to watching that whole thing. Just because I want to see Connor Stallions is going to be interviewed in it.
I didn't know that was coming out
last year. Yeah.
He is
coming
going
up in
to
a few weeks.
He's going to be the ultimate fall guy. Like he is going to.
Oh, for sure.
And that dude is going to be as bad as it looks for him.
So good.
He's going to be well compensated via like shell company, Michigan booster shell companies. It'll be fine. It's crazy.
This is going to be awesome. I didn't know this was coming out.
Yeah.
So it's right around the corner.
That'll be one we got to watch.
Fuck yeah. August 27th.
I'm looking at him like he's going to be, what's the gambling referee's name? Not Dunleavy, but something like that. Donahue, thank you. And he was willing to talk. That guy went all in when it was time for him to talk. Like, I think that's how Connor Stallion's going to be. Like, he's not throwing anybody under the bus, but I have a feeling he's going to fully be like, it's all me. And Untold is the same place we got the Johnny Manziel documentary last year, which we felt like did a strong job on everything, but maybe the Dom Vi discussions. And then I think different producers than we had the year before or 2 years ago when we got Bishop Sycamore.
I forgot about that. That was a good one, man.
Well, don't worry, they're playing football this year. We'll get into that in a couple weeks.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Okay, we will continue to monitor. We have a note here. Just one note from the sports party. I don't know who tossed that in, but
oh yeah, Ben Joyce. Ben Joyce. Sorry, I snuck this in. He's I believe. Is he a rookie? I think he's a rookie. Yeah, he's a pitcher. I forgot who he even fucking plays for. The Angels. Yeah, because he was with the Pandas.
You sound like me.
He's with the Trash Pandas. Anyway, he's the guy from Tennessee who had like an insane fastball. He was sent down the minors for a little bit this year and brought back up. He threw a pitch over the weekend, 104.7 miles per hour.
That's too fast.
And that's just unbelievable.
No place for that in baseball.
104.7 from the right side.
Yikes.
Nasty,
love that radio
nasty
station.
stuff. Ben Joyce. That's all I had on that. Just crazy numbers.
That would be dope if he was in Texas and he could go by K104. That would be a dope nickname, even though it doesn't really apply to his name. But
backwards
anyway,
K, I love it.
Joke for funny people.
Aroldis Chapman, because the natural search is like fastest pitches in MLB history. Texas Rangers fame, Aroldis Chapman. The top 10 pitches look a lot like the top 20 times in the 1,500 meters. Shouts to Katie Ledecky, where it's just her name.
Yeah.
20 times over. The top 10 fastest pitches, all Aroldis Chapman minus 2 that are Jordan Hicks, the pitcher, not the singer. But his tops at 105.8. Down to Jordan Hicks at 10th at 105.
He also has the top 3 times I almost violently vomited watching baseball all last season in the playoffs. What an absolute fucking
the sweatiest
wild ride that fucker was.
couldn't find the zone.
The sweatiest regret face after throwing that homer to what was that Bregman a few years back?
I just remember
them showing his face just like when he was with the Yankees, just fully eating it and sweating.
Hey, dude, it's a 6-0 game. Let's just bring him in to eat up some innings. Oh, fuck. He just walked 3 guys.
He
Walked
was
them
just
loaded.
pouring sweat, like trotting out to the mound. Man, how long have you been warming up? What are you doing back there?
Dude just stays warm.
Are you in the sauna? What's going on?
Oh, and let's run it back.
Run it back, the segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. Randy is definitely going to say it's Rhea time this episode, which did not happen,
It was because
actually.
we didn't talk about the poop river.
Oh, we didn't talk poop river.
Say it,
Oh,
say it.
shit.
Say it.
It's Rhea time.
There you go.
Don't swim on the Sign River.
This is the only sports podcast in the world where KJ, Dave, and Dylan all co-host, as pointed out by KJ. So true. Dave was on the golf team with all white guys over the weekend, losing to the other team with all white guys. Dave served under general taunting. Dave has natural boxing talent, but doesn't have that dog mentality. Plus, he grew up in normal childhood circumstances. If only he grew up in Philly. That's my favorite part of this episode, by the way. KJ has a friend who's South Korean, and that concludes Run It Back.
Shouts to Randy Pack.
That was funny. Yeah, don't swim in the Sign River. It's fucked up. Got poop in it. Thousands of years of poop and blood.
Thousands a year of Rhea time.
Yeah, right. There you go.
We skipped this, but I also wanted to say, like, similar to the boxer situation, like the opposing boxer from Italy, like quit like 14 seconds in.
She planned on quitting.
And I think, exactly, she planned on quitting. And then a lot of the media talk about it probably made her quit. Like she heard this and was probably a little bit worried. So you get hit once, and if it's normal, you're like, oh crap, this person hits really hard.
That's what she said. She said, I've never been hit like that before. So she quit.
Stupid of fucking boxing.
But I'm saying, like, there's no way to like prove if it was harder than she'd been previously hit. You know what I mean? Like, might have been mental. I'm also going to argue here that Belgium either just light gut biome, or maybe all the stories about getting E. coli, like psychosomatic, like gave this person E. coli. That's my thought.
Self-fulfilling doo-doo prophecy.
Exactly. Thank you.
Well done, KJ. All right, we'll be back next week.
Yes, we will. Bye-bye.
Bye.